All right, guys. So, the most common question I get is, what do you eat on keto? And there's really not a simple answer to this. The reality is we have people that are in, the UK and Australia and Singapore and China and Taiwan and Hong Kong, Canada and Mexico. We all eat differently. So to have a short answer, anytime you meet somebody, if you're following somebody online, they're like, this is what you do, this is how you eat, you probably should stop following them, because most likely that's not what you're going to do. So after 20 years of guiding people through this journey, nobody eats the same, and it's never perfect, and you have to find your own way. But I do have a simpler path that you can figure out. I can tell you some things to eat, not to eat. But what I can tell you also is that if you're going to do a strict ketogenic diet, that it takes time. You look at 6 months to a year to really figure it out. Otherwise, you're probably going to quit. And the reality is most people deviate off of it. But if you can stay in ketosis and elevate your ketones, then it's remarkable what can happen. So I'm going to show you how I eat and what some foods that I use here in. Oh, look at this! TikTok's telling me to do something. I'm not sure what it's telling me to do, so I did it. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you some things I eat. The first thing I do in the morning. This is how a day of my life would go. Now, prior to prove it, it was crazy. I would get up in the morning. I would fast probably 3 times a week. I would eat usually bison burgers with avocado in the morning. I would have 2 bison burgers with avocado, about 40 grams of protein. I would have chicken thighs for lunch with a salad every day for lunch, the same thing. And then for dinner would be a variety of things. I usually go out for dinner. I was single back then when I first started. So I would go out to dinner. My wife and I, when we got married, we'd make like really cool low carb. We'd make pot roast, a lot of pot roast. We'd make steaks, burgers. I'm allergic to fish, so I couldn't eat fish. So that's what I did. You from question mark? I'm from America. I'm from Canada. Where am I from? I'm from California. It's like a foreign country. But here's what I would tell you to do. If you want to keep keto simple, too many people come up to me and they start eating keto. And I noticed that they increase their nut intake by exponential. They're eating all these nuts, and they're eating a bunch of cheese and dairy, and they're eating it all by itself. They're not actually eating meals. And they're going to quit. If you're like that, if you like to snack a lot on low carb options, who are my low carb snackers out there? Hit me in the chat. Let me know who you are. It doesn't work long term. It just doesn't work long term. Situational. A snack is a snack. A snack should never replace food, if that makes any sense. So I'm going to show you what I do. So first thing I do in the morning, I wake up. I drink my ketones first thing in the morning. Sometimes I have coffee with keto cream. Sometimes I don't. Around lunchtime, I open up this thing. I just got this in. That's why I'm doing the live on this. It's just arrived. So where are my people eating Prove It meals right now? If you're eating Prove It meals, tell me what your favorite meal is. So this is what I do. I have meals that come in. What's really cool about these meals is that they're already prepackaged for me. So this one's 440 calories. It's very low carb, keto friendly right off the bat. I don't have to worry about the carbohydrates. I don't have to worry about what's in it. Mostly organic, at least all natural. What can be organic, that's organic. Some things are, some things are not, but it's all natural. And what's really special about this is that the fat that they use in it is all fat that is not going to simulate bad in your body. One of the things that people are struggling with today is that the fats that they're using and how they're cooking with them are actually not helping them. They're hurting them. And that's important. So everything in here is designed for people that want to be low carb, healthy eaters. And so I have this for lunch, and I don't do this every day. I do this 4 days a week. The other 3 days I figure because I want to do some of the things that I like to do that aren't necessarily in the box. So this one's here is a chicken parmesan with broccoli. That's this one. Poblano. How do you Poblino? I don't know how to say that. It's really good though. I just don't know how to say it. Poblano. Did I say that right? Poblano. This is Poblano chicken skillet. This is this one. So this one is this is a chicken parmesan with broccoli. This is 430 calories. So right off the bat, right here, I'm just under 1,000 calories for the day. So now I get to make up my different calories with things that I might enjoy. So I might add a little extra protein to this because I'm a little bit bigger. I work out a lot. A lot of my females, this is about all they will eat for the day. This is it. This is your food consumption for the day with a little bit of maybe snacks or something as a little added bonus. But that's the reality of keto. That's the reality. What happens is people want to get really creative and overwhelming themselves with all these different things, and they tend to overeat, not eating the right amount of foods, and they're not getting the results that they want, and they all quit. So that's the crazy thing. If you're going to quit, why even start that journey? So this is a really cool way. Recently, I've had a lot of people come on, and what they're doing is they're saying, listen, Dustin, I don't necessarily want to eat this food all forever, but let me do it for 30 or 60 days so that I can learn what it's like. And then I can find what I want to keep and what I want to give, or what I want to do, what I don't want to do. I'm like, that's a great idea. Because the alternative is to go home, figure it out, and fail before you even get it figured out. So this kind of gets you set up and to be figured out. There's some really cool things. This is like a mini plate. So it's something that's really for on the go. It has a really good dipping sauce. It has some peppers in it and then some chicken in there. This is really cool. It's 450 calories. So this is just easy for on the go. These you warm up. So it's pretty awesome stuff. There's a variety of different foods in here. But this is what I do. This comes to me once a week. And I have it in my refrigerator, and I get to cook it up. My wife uses it also. There's more boxes downstairs. This is just mine. But there's more stuff downstairs. And my brother-in-law uses it too, who is also keto. So we're all different keto in different ways. But this is the cool thing, y'all, is if you want to really maximize your health, you want to be keto, you probably know what you're doing. If you're not started already, what you're doing isn't right. At the same time, if you want to, you got to, in your brain, you have to put in your mind, it's going to take 6 months or a year to kind of figure it all out. People, well, I tried it for a month, it didn't work for me. That doesn't mean it doesn't work. It just means that you didn't commit long enough to it. It's been around since the human existence of humans, so it works. It's just a matter of people committing time to it. And it's tough because when you know that there's a process that people need, and it's like the sun, right? Everybody needs the sun. There's a very, 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 very unique person out there that maybe genetically can't handle the sun, but as a whole, we all need the sun. You can't say the sun's bad. You just say that I need a certain amount of the sun. And it's the same thing with keto. It's the same thing with food. It's just got to take time to figure out what that is for you. And with different cultures, you're going to have to find what's working within your own culture. So that's what I do. I do it every day because the most common question I get is, what do I eat? And, I go to Minnesota and they still want to drink beer and eat chicken. And unfortunately, it's just going to cut it. Does it mean you have to quit forever? Not necessarily. But if you want to be keto and you want to maintain that upward level of health, then we have to really reduce those things and find an alternative that's better for you. That's why I drink my ketones. I do that 4 days a week. Other 3 days, I give myself a little bit of flexibility and leeway. Now, my flexibility and leeway might be watermelon. It might be some apples. It might be a little bit of corn chips. It's not necessarily chicken wings, which I don't mind chicken wings, by the way. But it's not pizza. Those are not my flexibility. But that's me. I've been doing this for 20 years. So I've worked myself out of the pizza world. Truth is every time I eat pizza, which is not very often, I'm usually pleasantly disappointed, even though I'm optimistically excited to have it. Because it's like, I haven't had it forever. It smells so good. And I eat it. And I'm like, yeah, it really didn't do much for me. I'd rather have a steak. So y'all get your ketones in your system. It's a game changer. I'm going to be doing a talk here in a little bit. I haven't decided how I want to do it, but if you get to know me, I'm not super confrontational as a whole. I've never been. And, but there's something I have on my heart that's pretty heavy that, I hear people, and usually they're like, nutritionists, doctors, actually less doctors, but nutritionists, maybe some nurses, fitness instructors, personal trainers, that are like, you don't need to do that. You don't need to drink ketones. You can do it. You can do it through diet and lifestyle. They're just wrong. They're ignorant. That's what they are. Not that I used to think ignorance is a bad word. That just means they're unknowledgeable on understanding something. And when you're unknowledgeable on understanding something and you're an influencer, you have to be really careful. And it's one of the reasons why I appreciate a lot of my medical doctor friends that I have, is that they're the first ones, if they're unknowledgeable on something, they're the first ones that they don't poo-poo it, and they don't say don't. Most of them, there's some that do, but most of them don't. They're the ones that are more open-minded, saying, listen, you should check it out, investigate it, and decide if it's fit for you. Very politically correct. Right? But I appreciate that, because there's some influencers out there that they don't understand people. And I always ask each one every time I hear it from them, if I'm talking to them, I ask them directly, I go, how many lives have you changed? And give me a number. If it's not above 1,000 or 5,000 or 10,000 lives, then you got to be careful because when you're working with people that are going through emotional stress, psychological stress, physiological stress, have autoimmune challenges, health challenges, ups and downs, GI challenges, all these things, doing a hardcore diet and exercise probably isn't going to work for them fast enough for them to change their life. And that's not even adding the science behind why it won't work for them. Just lifestyle choices is going to be hard for them to make the changes. So if we can give them support and help to move them along the way, why would you not? Right? Why would you not give them that? It's no different than that same person that says that they go out and drink to have fun. Like, why do you have to drink to have fun? Like, you shouldn't have to do that. Right? Well, it just makes it easier. That's why I do it. It makes it more fun. So if you're going to get healthy, why not have tools to help get you there? And so those naysayers, I haven't decided how I'm going to do it yet, but it's coming. And hell's coming with me. I'm just kidding. But I'm excited about that because, we found a recipe that works. And the recipe isn't food. Part of the recipe is food, but it's drink your ketones every day. It's simple, y'all. You get therapeutic ketones in 30 minutes. You feel better, energy and focus. You live better. You just feel better. I always say when I first started with Prove It, I'm like, if I can give you the end results of how it feels to feel good, you will do more to get to there, right? If I can teleport you to Hawaii, you're more likely to make effort to get to Hawaii, right? But if you never know what it's like to get there, you're more likely to have an excuse never to go. So drinking ketones is a teleportation to Hawaii, and it gets you excited to want to go maybe work out, which I'm going to the gym here in about 3 minutes. It gets you excited to maybe eat a little bit better. It gets you excited to go to bed at night because you feel good and you want to keep taking care of yourself. And then when you start seeing how your family's treating you differently and people are treating you differently, yes, people treat you differently when you're healthier. People act differently around you. They don't feel bad for you. They actually they're excited for you. You feel that. And it perpetuates a positive momentum in your life. And that's what this does. And the recipe is drink your ketones. Eat 4 days minimum high quality foods. At least 2 good whole low carb meals. Preferably that's all you eat. Don't add a lot of other crap those 4 days. The other 3 days, do the best you can. And then you listen. I was going to do a live on fitness, but I decided not to today. If you really want to change your life, you got to get active. You got to get your body in motion. I have a good friend of mine. Her name is Keto Wheels, and her name's Tammy. She's been in a wheelchair for many years, and she inspires me. And if somebody knows her, tag her in this video, and I'll tell her I was talking to her. But she inspires me. Why? Because she's in a wheelchair, and life is not always easy for her. She got a lot of things, but man, she keeps her body moving. And I'm like, dang, I need my hip replaced. I need my knee replaced. I need my other hip replaced. I just had 2 shoulders completely done. And I get complacent. And I'm like, man, she's got it figured out. So get your body moving and then find a way to be accountable. And accountability can come in a lot of ways. Accountability is important. Accountability. So be accountable to something. I like social media because if I'm going to say I'm going to go live, I got to go live. Right. So I use social media as an accountability. I'm going to go run 10 miles. Well, then you guys can call me on it if I don't. Right. Sometimes it's a friend or a family. Sometimes it's a coworker, but having accountability is important. And accountability works better. People have paid me a lot of money to help them be accountable. And I promise you this, you could give me $10,000. I'll take it. You give me $10,000 to be accountable, and you're more likely to be accountable to a friend and a family and a loved one that you see every day that you have to look in the eye than it is giving up the money for me, because there's no emotional investment in me, right? There's an emotional investment in money, but there's more of an emotional investment in that person that you're looking in the eye. And when you feel like you're letting them down, you're more likely to do it anyway. And so accountability is another big factor. And then that's the recipe for success. And you just do that over and repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat. So y'all, I got to go work out. Have an unbelievable night. I got to put that food in the fridge. It's in my office, which is far from the fridge. So I got to go put my food in my fridge. But I appreciate y'all listening in. Remember, if you don't have your ketones, get your ketones. Get back to whoever has invited you to follow my pages. If nobody's invited you to follow my pages, then reach out to me. But if somebody invited you to follow me, get back to them. Get your ketones from them. Don't quit. Drink it for at least 90 days before you ever give it a full shake. Like, it takes time. Everything takes time. Anything great takes time. Everything takes time. Yeah, you might feel it faster, but it still takes time to figure things out. And get back to them. If not, get back to me and I'll take care of you and help you out. If you haven't gotten your Prove It meals and you're in America, get your Prove It meals. It's like, oh my God, this is so much easier. And 1 week of meals is the same cost for my wife and I to Uber Eats. So it's like, we've saved tons of money by getting these foods too, because when we Uber Eat, it's always this. It adds up so damn fast that we spend maybe 2 Uber Eats a week is more. It's way more expensive than 1 box of food for us for the week. So it's simple, it's easy, y'all. And yes, unfortunately, we're not in Mexico yet, so I'm sorry. Not our food. Our ketones are, but our food is not. So y'all, I appreciate y'all. Have an unbelievable night, and we'll see you on the flip side. Cheers.